Hiya, it's Graham here. I'm off for a wild camp tonight. I'm out with Silky Nick, and before I do that though, I wanted to show you a new tent that I bought. I recently bought the Hilleberg Akto and then decided I need something else, something a bit lighter and freestanding, so I want to show you this tent I've just bought. Here it is next to the Dubious Hills. It's freestanding, it's ultra light, it's rigid, it looks like it'll stand up to a lot of wind, and comes with its own internal light. But I do have some concerns about the size of the vestibule. Hiya folks, I'm just off to pick up Silky Nick now, and he's had to work late, so really we've got less than an hour before sundown, so I think we're going to go quite local. There's some local woods that, well, it's a few minute drive that Nick was scoping out the other day on a day walk, and he reckons this is a good place to go, but I haven't got a feel for these woods, so I've kind of dressed as stealthily as possible, well, apart from my glasses, and I've taken the Akto because basically it's sand, aka brown coloured. I think it's the stealthiest tent I've got. I could go ultra stealthy and take the Alp kit bivvy, the hooked bivvy, or even just a Gore-Tex bivvy, but I was trapped in that Alp kit bivvy at Harwood Forest not that long ago because of the midges, and it's always good being out, but it could have been nicer. So I've got the Akto and we'll see how it goes. So we've parked up the car down this lane, heading down here, looking for some way into the woods. I think Nick knows what he's about. Trusting him tonight. He's a trustworthy fella.
See, there's a reservoir, that's the fishy bit, so we'll come down to there.
Yeah.
Then up there and around into there.
Oh, Nick's trailblazing ahead. One thing I've noticed since I've been doing these videos is that I think I've been fooling myself for years that I'm still a bit in trim, and I'm clearly not. It's obvious when I watch myself that I've got a real dad bod going on. I can see a started caravan coming up through the trees here, so hence the whispering. Although it's clearly not used, the door on the left there is completely smashed in. The sun sets in 5 minutes, but it's already really dark in the woods, and I think we're going to head off somewhere here to the side, find a place for the night. Well, I think maybe a little bit further down that way. Hi, I think we found our campsite for tonight. It's nicely hidden in a bit of a dip, and there's trees here giving a bit of cover, and there's a couple of decent trunks for Nick to put his hammock on, and there's a sort of flat area here. It's not ideal, it's very rooty, but it'll do for tonight. Not a bad spot. This is my new ultralight table, and it's made of the same stuff as for sale signs are made of, but it is really light, and it does apparently take about 4 kilograms, and it gets my cooking area off the ground. Nick's just seen it and said he could have made one for free, but that's Nick, he can do anything. Also got a chopping board at the same time, 12 grams, and it's basically just a thin bit of plastic, which I paid £5 for, because if my mate's always taking the mickey if anything's labelled ultralight, I'm a proper sucker for it. But you know what? It's a £5 and I can chop an onion on it and I'm happy. I'm going to make octopus stew. I quite enjoyed the octopus I had last time, so I thought I'd try and take it a little bit further. And for pudding, I've got a British Army MRE cinnamon cake, or gâteau à la cannelle, and this is one of my favourite food prep knives. It's by Book. I don't know the model of the knife. I got this in a Secret Santa. We'll say secret, but I strongly suspect this was from Silky Nick. It's a sort of practical thing he would choose, and it's very utilitarian. There's nothing, you know, fancy about it. It's not like a fancy bushcraft knife made with curly birch and a handmade leather sheath, nylon sheath, lovely grippy rubber handle with a nice choil, nice bit of jimping, and it's got quite a thin blade, so it's brilliant for food preparation and chopping. And I use this in the kitchen as much as anywhere else. I'm going to test out the chopping board for the first time. I haven't brought any extra oil with me. Oh, thanks Nick. Cheers. If Nick wasn't here with his oil, the plan was going to be to just fry up the chorizo first and let that orangey, spicy fat leach out from it, and then we'll chop the onions and put that in. But we'll borrow some oil off Nick as well. So we'll get that. Oh, that's a bit of file. I'll tidy that up. So we'll get this in the pan. We'll get that on at a low heat, and we'll get chopping the onion. It's the Soto Windmaster again. I'm getting very fond of this stove on my new ultralight chopping board. I don't think this chopping board's going to last forever, but it'll last for a while, and it's almost like a sacrificial top to the table. That's starting to render some fat out of it. Probably half an onion's enough, but I'll pop the other half in. This is like the Gordon Ramsay section, except with less hair and less swearing. Well, no hair and no swearing. And if I'm honest, no culinary skill either. I know we're stealth camping, but that chorizo smells pretty strong. I hope a poacher or a badger or a gamekeeper doesn't smell it. Well, a badger will be okay. Well, depends how hungry it was. They're canny big. I brought this beer out to try tonight. You can see it hasn't got a label on because you can't buy these beers in the shops. Got a good mate, Daryl, who brews at home, and he hasn't got a license, but he cans his own beer, and this is one of his American Pale Ales. He's a proper handy lad, Daryl. He can turn his head to, he can turn his hand rather to anything. He turned his garage into a little knife making workshop a couple of years ago, and he helped me make my first and only knife. And I'm not good at making things. I mean, take a look at it. But I'm mysteriously proud of it, you know, because it was made by my own hand. Oh, blimey, that was carbonated. So this is Daryl's American Pale Ale. And dal, mate, that is lovely. Nice and hoppy. Got a bit of edge to it. Nice and floral. That's a good one, mate. That's a good one. I forgot to put my garlic in. So let's do it now. I might speed that chopping the garlic up and make it look like I'm a good chopper, you know. It's not finely chopped, and this is not fine cooking. It's camping in the woods cooking. And I've got a whole semi-dried chilli to put in as well. It's semi-dried because it's just been in my fridge that long. I'm not going to take the seeds out. I don't really see the point. The seeds are some of the hottest bit of the chilli, and if you want the chilli hotness, keep the seeds in. Whack it in. Ah, there's a moth coming up my nose. It's out. Those onions and chilies are tasting rather good, so I'm gonna put the next couple of ingredients in. I've got some mixed beans from Lidl, half a tin of mixed beans, and I've got a tub of sweet pepper stir-in sauce for pasta that Lidl's do, and then I've got my octopus. There we have our octopus and chorizo chili stew with mixed beans and sweet pepper sauce. I think it looks pretty good, but I've made too much, so I'm going to give half of it to Nick. Then even if I say I like it, you'll get an honest review off Nick. Well, be honest when you taste it.
How's the table setting up?
It works, but it's not.
You can't put
it's not brilliant. You can't put a lot of. You can put 4 kilograms on.
Right. Did you know? The cords out of the Roman blind or something take 6 kilograms.
Is that so people don't hang themselves?
Yeah.
Accidentally.
6 kilograms. You're more than welcome to taste some of my
no,
piri.
I've got.
That's lovely.
I've got too much here, Nick.
No, you'll get that down your neck. You need all the calories for tonight because it's going to be freezing.
I hope not brought me summer bag.
That's 4, that's enough. Whoa.
Nick is going to do an honest review of my stew.
Really tasty. Really tasty. It's like octopus should be.
Let's try our cinnamon bun.
Here we go.
Cinnamon bun. And to go with my cinnamon bun, I've got some homemade apricot jam. This was made by the fair hand of Kat, Sean P's girlfriend. And if Kat made it, it'll be good. It's stuck in the tube. I'm gonna have to use my end of the spoon and lick my spoon. Not the worst thing I've ever done. Kat's homemade apricot jam and British Amory cinnamon slice, bun, loaf.
Just the one from 1947. British Army ration.
You wish. It's from the Napoleonic Wars. It's very substantial and stodgy, almost like a brownie, but with a nice cinnamon taste. It's good. But the apricot jam is superb. It's not too sweet, it's almost like apricot marmalade sort of thing. It's like eating sunshine. It's like cats put sunshine in a jar. Really nice. I'm glad I like the cinnamon bun because I bought a job lot of 7 of them.
Yeah, so I decided to bring this out tonight. It's under 20 quid. Hultafors. I use them for work, and I've been greasing axles on lawnmowers with it and all sorts, and now it's just cut the cake, stirred the thingy, and yeah, it's an all-round knife. Very sharp. I did take it over a ceramic whetstone to just give it a bit extra, but not bad for the money.
So we can't have a campfire tonight.
Yeah.
but we can have a buddy burner. Here's one that Nick made. It's like a little campfire in a can. It leaves no trace, completely self-contained. It'll burn for 30-40 minutes, maybe an hour in great conditions. And you just make them from old tuna tins, old cardboard and old wax. I did a little video on how to make them. They're grand little things. Hi guys, I don't know how well you can see me. I don't know what the lighting's like, because I've had a technical problem with the lights tonight. Like an idiot, I didn't charge up the battery I use to power the light for my GoPro. So I've been using like hanging lanterns and my head torch and the light from my phone to try and illuminate stuff, like the cooking section I've just done. I hope that looks okay. We'll see in the morning. I'm just gonna, it's just 11 o'clock and Nick's at work tomorrow, and this is just a cheeky school night, quick overnighter in local woods. So a little nip of whiskey. I don't even know what that is. It's this is the Yggdrasil flask that I got for my birthday, and whatever whiskey's in there is whatever was in last time I used it, which I think was the Harwood video, the first one I did with Nick. It's fine though, because it's been a while since pewter was made with lead, so the chances of us getting lead poisoning are slim. Be alright. It's nice though, it's smooth. I didn't do a time lapse of putting up the tent, because how many time lapses of a man putting up a tent can you watch, you know? Doesn't mean I won't do more in future, but I'm in the Hilly, I'm in the Akto, and the only slight modification I've made is this. This is the only slight modification I've made. I've strung a bit of Dyneema, I like a washing line across there, and I've hung my light from it. Gives a nice light, canny little thing. Anyway, I'm just going to listen to a podcast and hopefully drift off to sleep in the woods. Good night. Morning guys, nice night last night. Little patter of rain on the tent, but no other weather, completely still. There's no condensation on the inside or anything. I put a Facebook message on last night just saying where we were, and got a reply from the gracious Lady Fee, Nick's wife, and she said to be vigilant, because when she was walking in these woods during the daytime even, she got a real spooky feeling about them. But whatever ghosts or men haunt these woods at night, so fit to leave me and Nick alone. I reckon it was octopus stew probably put them off. I did hear a sound like a woman being murdered throughout the night, and if you didn't know what foxes sound like, I think you'd probably fill your breeks if you're here alone. There's Nick going. He's left his glasses when he went for a pee, his reading glasses. Old man problems. I understand that. It is amazing how fast you can get packed up when you haven't got a hangover. And this is leave no trace as always. This is the kitchen area last night, and that is where we had the buddy burner. Absolutely no trace at all. Did you find them? Oh, it's my power bank. Yeah, dropped off the phone when I dropped off the GoPro when I picked it up. Thank you. Did you get them?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. As I was saying last night, I've got a bit of a dad bod on us, which is okay because I'm a dad, you know, it's not terrible. But the trouble is I'm not as fit as I used to be, and I've one of my best friends, Mark, I think he's going through a midlife crisis, and he's got me signed up for this multi-Munro back in day in Scotland in a month's time. And he's kept himself fit, he knocks off the odd half marathon, and we're going on another lad, Double D, Diamond Dave, who's even fitter. He's the kind who knocks off marathons before he has his breakfast. So I'm the physical weak link in the chain. So I've been doing that NHS Couch to 5k app, running in Choppington Woods at the back of my house, and I have to say it's been working for us. It's increased my baseline fitness, but what it hasn't done is change my shape. So I guess I'm gonna have to stop drinking beer for that, but it's like one step at a time, you know. Short legs don't help. It's a tough gate to get through.
So it would be bloody right.
There's always a solution, Nick.
That's it.
I was in my tent last night reviewing the GoPro footage on my phone, and although I've tried to make my rucksack as stealthy as possible by putting that camo cover on, all I could see were these bright blue straps at the front. So I think I'm going to have to get myself a green rucksack. Maybe it's an old army Bergen or something. There's always something else to buy, isn't there?
You gotta say thanks to my sister for me nice outfit shirt.
Well, we're back at the car now. Had a great night. Nick found a canny spot, and again, thanks for coming along.